Going live.
Okay.
Let's see what happens.
Okay.
Middle of the corn desert. A Midwestern shelter stands constructed of wood. A stable out back, but not for any livestock, but rather a collection of eerie tales. As we open the double doors to the compound, it's past the weird, paranormal, and suddenly news. And it all starts right now, live from the Acrylic Ranch.
And yes, we are live at the Acrylic Ranch. And as always, our in-studio guest, Anna. Hi, Anna. Oh, this is fun. This is a new way of doing Acrylic Ranch. I like it. Hi, Laura. Yeah, we were having technical difficulties. Must be something about a Tuesday. I'm not really sure, but we got kicked off, and we had this great UFO opening going on with aircraft and sighting a UFO, but you know what? I'll probably just send all that recording over to the Acrylic Ranch page, and you can give it a listen. It's only about maybe 10 minutes of audio between two commercial jets and a control tower, and they were witnessing a very large UFO. You know, it's pretty compelling audio. Anyway, hi, Jennifer. How are you? Yeah, well, that's good. I'm glad to hear it.
Sorry, I had my microphone muted.
Oh, wait, you had duct tape around the kids? What?
What?
Oh, you did hear some of it, huh, Laura? Yeah, well, like I said, it just kicked me out all of a sudden, and we had to start over again, so we'll be sure to do it again.
I'm trying to bring up the live video so I can see who's here.
Hey,
and
yes.
I clicked on last week's video.
Well, that doesn't work very well although it might be,
No,
you know,
no, it doesn't.
might
Oh
be
my
more
goodness.
fun, be more
Well,
of an
whoever is here, hello.
more interesting.
I think you said Laura was here. So hi, Laura.
Yes, I see Laura. And little does Laura know, we have new capabilities over here at the ranch. Hi, Anna. And it's my little
All
ghost,
right,
ghost Anna. She's sitting on my lap. She's being silly. What's your announcement? I want Anna to tell us all our news bits before talking about black-eyed kids.
Nice. 1 second. Let me.
You having technical difficulties too?
I am a little bit.
I know.
Here.
I don't know. It must
Normally,
be.
when I click on the video, everybody's comments are to the side, but they are now underneath of the video.
Well, very good. All right. Yeah, mine always comes up with it on the bottom. Hi, Bobby. Hey, welcome, Bobby. You missed it all. We're done with the show. Sorry, you were late.
It's over.
Just kidding. We were actually talking about your history, Bobby, of being a black-eyed kid yourself. Not really. No, we have a
Nice.
couple of announcements to make. First off, for those of you that might not be here and will be watching this later, Into the Fray Radio. Shannon made it to her destination. I would highly recommend, because this just was a chart topper for me personally, and I think for Jennifer as well. We kind of thought I thought Shannon's destination was going to be different than where she ended up at, and if you have to get in on this Insiders thing, it's so worth the $4.99 just to follow along with the experience that Shannon is putting herself into. So get on over to Into the Fray Radio.
I was really surprised, I have to say.
I was surprised too.
I did not expect it. And once, I figured out where she was, it was like, wow, that's perfect, and that's scary.
You know, I will tell you, if anybody that's watching this needs a detective, contact Jennifer. You can find out anything. I don't care what it is. You figure it out. You're the sleuther. You're very good at what you do.
It was kind of funny because it was literally simultaneous.
Yeah, it was simultaneous, and I was shocked because I was thinking, okay, well, maybe she saw it first, but nope, he didn't. Anyway, this location that Shannon LeGros is at right now, and she's doing this for the insiders. Yeah, it's so worth the $4.99 to be a member over there and follow along with what her experience is. It's better than cable TV, I know that.
For sure.
Mama messed in my shoes.
I know, Anna. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Guys.
Yes. I pooped in my shoes, too.
Well, she's far enough away from the mic. I didn't know that the mic was sensitive enough to really pick it up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, when you can hear me breathing while I'm just sitting here listening to you, I have to keep in check. Okay? I do. I have to keep things in check. What's the big news, Jennifer? You were kept making this big announcement, and I'm, like, wanting to know what it is.
Hey, Anna. Come here.
Here
Let's see.
it
We'll
comes.
see if we can have Anna announce it.
Okay, Anna.
Come here.
No.
Tell everybody what we made.
Ooh.
No? Too shy?
Ooh.
We made a website.
Oh, a website. Yes, the
That's
Acrylic
right.
Ranch official website.
Mm-hmm.
Ac-
Very, very excited. Many sleepless nights getting that thing put together.
Mm-hmm. We used lots of crayons, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Super glue.
And super glue, right. No Elmers. Forget the Elmers. We'll just go right into the super glue.
No. Well, no, we ate all that, remember?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, the paste. Anyway, with the Acrylic Ranch website, which Jennifer and myself thought of together, and what we'll end up doing, it's going to be a central hub for everybody, and meaning everybody, which is everybody in the community, and plus those that might be watching this video later, that has an interest in this community. You can go over to the Acrylic Ranch and get the lowdown on all podcasts that are our personal favorite podcasts that deal in this community, paranormal and cryptids and strange news, disturbing news, etc., plus the daily shows that are on, such as Coast to Coast AM and Beyond the Darkness. So there'll be a lot of information
I'll see
over
if I
there.
can't put the link in the chat.
Oh, that'll be great. Yes, that would be fantastic. So it will be official that the website will launch. Feel free to go over there. There's a lot of interactive things that you can actually contribute to the website itself. If you have an experience, Jennifer and I would love to know about it, but of course, there would be no publicity of your experience unless you deem otherwise. But we'd be happy to interact with you and maybe tell you where you could go or who you could speak with regarding your personal experience. Hi, Sean. I saw you show up. Thank you. So, yeah, feel free to go over there. Like I said, there's a list of all the podcast episodes. You'll be able to scroll through, see which nights they actually air, or day, or whenever, day of the week. We still need, I believe, a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday slots to fill. But we do know that they're out there. But like I said, we'd like to put in our personal favorites, such as Arcane Radio, Into the Fray radio, Somewhere in the Skies, Mojo Encounters. I know I have an entire list. Thank you. Jennifer put up the link to the website, as you can see down below there, because I'm a multitasker. I can do those multiple things. So I'm very excited, and Jennifer and I will be expanding this more and more and more. I plan to do a lot of on-location ventures that will be live, and some of it will be recorded. We still have a trip planned up to Bray Road, Wisconsin, and not that I'm going to go hunting for a dog man, but definitely do a live feed from there. Bachelor's Grove is still in the mix. Plan to really kind of focus a lot of my energy, thanks to Lon Strickler, who's been posting in the Friends of Phantoms and Monsters. I so recommend you at least go onto Facebook and do a search, Friends of Phantoms and Monsters, and click like, because some of the articles and some of the research that Lon does is absolutely fascinating. So a big round of applause for Lon. He's been posting sightings of this bat humanoid, which I'm going to call Mothman. I'm just going to come straight out and say it's a Mothman, regardless of what it looks like. There was a sighting back off the breakwaters in Chicago. Being that I'm from the area, I know it quite well. I've actually set up a tent at the end of the breakwaters and camped. This was years ago. But anybody that's familiar with the downtown Chicago area along the Lake Michigan lakefront, that's where this last sighting was seen on the 19th of this month, which was, 5 days ago? And this was, again, several witnesses that saw this, two bat-like humanoids that were screeching and came out from underneath the bridge of Lakeshore Drive and started flying in figure eights, and they had no idea what they were looking at other than two large bat-winged humanoids. Now, this is the seventh in, I believe, 3 months sighting of this entity. Wow. But this one was two of them, and the witnesses said that they were moving around in figure eights and just moving in ways that a squirrel suit you can't do in a squirrel suit. You can do a lot of gliding with it, but you can't do the type of maneuvers that what these witnesses were witnessing. So I'm very compelled. I'm kind of planning on a trip down to at least that area in downtown, and would set up a live feed. Bobby says he wouldn't mind seeing that, but not a dog man. Yeah, dog man or Mothman. I'll probably stick with the Mothman too, Bobby. And it's still kind of unusual, but hi, Donnelly. Nice to see you. My competition tonight is Dancing with the Stars. Seriously? Jennifer, you need to dance around the room so that, give competition to Dancing with the Stars tonight. At least that's on her end. That's my competition. I would hope my competition would be a little bit stiffer than that, at least something in the paranormal realm. I would hope anyway. But anyway, to wrap up the Chicago sightings, this is an ongoing mystery with me. Hi, Sabrina. This is an ongoing mystery with me, and I'm sure a lot of you that have a fascination with the Mothman too. I don't know that we'll get to the bottom of it, but man, for so many people to be witnessing this going on currently in the city of Chicago is I don't know. It's very fascinating to me personally. Anyway, tonight's episode, go on.
No, I was just going to say, that would scare me. Honestly, I don't know. To see something huge like that can just pick you up and fly away with you. I don't know.
Let me just read here, since you brought it up, let me just read here a couple of quotes that the witness reported this to MUFON. MUFON, the Mutual UFO Reporting Network, because they didn't know what else to report this to. But here's a couple of quotes. We were standing on the shore by some picnic tables waiting on James, which is her boyfriend, to meet us there. We were talking when we heard this loud screech. It sounded completely out of this world, and after a couple of seconds, we heard another one, only louder and higher pitched than the first one. We looked around thinking we heard an animal in distress and if it needed help. That's when we saw this large bat fly into our view. It was black and came from the direction of the bridge that holds up Lakeshore Drive. It flew low and then shot up into the air. As it came over the water, we noticed one of the Coast Guard helicopters was flying over the water at about the same time. But we were not sure if it saw this thing as it kept on flying towards the Adler Planetarium. This thing flew in a large circle and cried out almost instantly as it was joined by another large bat. These things were big and stood out against the sky. They flew in figure eights around each other, and it looked like they were dancing in a strange sort of way. It was actually quite beautiful considering how freakingly strange it was. Yeah. So
that's scary.
It is very scary.
You know.
Yes, it is very scary. I'm not sure. I don't know what to make of it.
I still have to say that I would rather run into that than any kind of Dogman or Sasquatch or anything like that.
Well, I'm starting to have to agree with you. I would agree with you on that. Okay, I'll give you that. The thought crossed my mind that, okay, maybe there were a couple of guys that, jumped off one of the large buildings in the squirrel suit. If you're not familiar with squirrel suits, they're designed similar to that of how a flying squirrel is, and you have a wing from your fingertips to your legs, but it's really mostly for skydiving. I don't think that you can maneuver the way that this witness was describing, being able to come down near the water and then raise up again, because the squirrel suits work on gravity and airflow. In order to be able to ascend upwards again, you would have to have propulsion. So I'm thinking this is not a squirrel suit. Plus, every other witness testimony from Chicago has seen this entity standing, and it shot straight up in the air and then opened its wings and took flight. So this is a little bit beyond anything that at least is on the market that I know of available to people to buy. I just...
So in most all of the these encounters and then the regular Mothman encounters over, is there, unless I missed it, unless I haven't been paying attention, or maybe I forgot, is there any encounters where they felt like they were being chased or attacked or anything, or is this just something where people are witnessing something flying off?
So far, all the testimonies that I have read, and I've only read, I haven't heard any, and I'm sure that, Lon Strickler is probably doing his homework and will be doing interviews at some point. But from what I have read, none of these encounters in the city of Chicago have been aggressive towards anybody. Now, that's a little bit different than what happened in Point Pleasant, West Virginia, where the testimonies were that it chased the car, was alongside the car while they were driving at a high rate of speed. They felt threatened by it.
Oh, right.
None of that has come to fruition in the city of Chicago yet. And I hope it doesn't. But hi, Marlies. Again, I don't know what to make of it. I know that there's so many questions in this world that we just don't have the answer to, but it certainly fascinates me. It really does. And, and every other testimony besides this one that I just read to you, the other 6 witnesses all said that its eyes either glowed a red. Other witnesses said it was an orange fiery red. So okay, we're still in the same ballpark of these giant eyes reflecting red, or I don't know how much I buy that would be self-luminescent unless this is a hoax beyond comprehension. I don't know. Anything's possible, I suppose.
You know, it's when you think about this and you think about all the others being witnessed, all the different subjects or topics, cryptid or ghost, it's amazing how you can choose, like, what kind of world you live in. You know, if you're exposed to all this stuff and you read all this stuff and you kind of try to educate yourself, your whole world changes. Your perception just
doesn't it though? Yeah,
it's incredible.
It is incredible. You know, just like my personal experience over the last few days. You know, you've been putting a lot of work into the website. Marlise and Sabrina, if you just came in late, the Acrylic Ranch is launching its website. Well, it'll be interactive website, and you'll be able to find a whole bunch of information over there. Or you can watch the video again from the beginning, whichever is easy for you. I'm sure I'll bring it up again.
I'll make sure to post it in both the group and on the page as well.
But over the last few days, you putting the website together, some of the conversations that we've had, the research that I was doing into the Black-Eyed Kids, and then Shannon LeGros showing up where she showed up to today, and then watching more information about the location that she is at. And if you want to know where Shannon LeGros is at, go to Into the Fray Radio, to go to the menu and click on Become an Insider. Okay, it is well worth the $4.99 to find out what that girl is putting herself into. I was shocked. I really was shocked. I will say...
Yeah, me too.
I will say it was not the location that I was sold on that she was going to. I thought I would have lost all my money had I bet all my money on it, because I was almost for certain she was going to one spot, and nope, she surprised all of us. So, and of course, our thoughts and her safety are in Upnope. And actually, she's right down the street from me, so that's kind of cool. Hey, when you message Shannon, just let her know she needs to be bailed out. I'll run over there.
Yeah, the super scary spot that she went to is Vance's house, guys.
Yes, pretty much. Actually, we thought maybe she was going to Bono Russell's house. And that would have been kind of terrifying. It was like, yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff that goes on there, and she could record it. And yeah, well, we know what Bono would be doing. He'd be like, oh, come here, honey.
We love you, Bono.
Yes, of course we do. He knows that. He knows that. At least I hope he knows that.
Of course he knows.
You know what? I just had a knock at my door, so I'm going to go look in the peephole, and if you hear me scream horrendously because there's black-eyed kids staring at me. And,
did you really have a knock at your door?
Shh. It was all part of the show. Wait.
I'm not watching.
Oh, yep, somebody's knocking at the door. Oh, God, no. My take on Black-Eyed Kids, since that's what this episode is, Black-Eyed Children. You know, the Black-Eyed Kids really kind of took off with its, I will say, cultural popularity in the mid-1990s. From a report, and of course, you know, with the evolution of the internet, now anybody can post their personal story on the internet and the entire world can read it. However, looking into a little bit of research further than that about Black-Eyed Kids, there's reports that go back to the 1800s about children with these black eyes that had really bad intent, and they all seem to have the same motive. So that brings me to the question of, what are the Black-Eyed Kids? Are they demonic, or are they of another world, and they need something from us but have to ask permission? Now, when I spoke to my coworker who reads the Bible, but he's not a religious person. He reads the Bible for information, taking it from scholars from years ago and then interpreting it his way. So when he's read the Bible, he's like, it's very common for something demonic, not demonic, but demonic, to have to get permission for you mentally to open that door for them to come in and use you as the host for themselves. And with these stories of black-eyed kids knocking on the door or knocking on your vehicle window, asking for a ride or asking to use the phone and avoiding eye contact with you until you give them the okay. And with the witness testimonies, at least from the stories that I've read, they all have that common link of dread. Once you say okay, that overwhelming, sickening feeling of dread just seems to flush over these people, and it's like, I have made a big mistake. That's important information to know. Now, am I going to say that black-eyed kids are a real thing? I can't say yes or no to either one and say, that's a bunch of hooey. I don't believe in it. As you probably all know, I have a very open mind, so anything can come in. I can filter through. Actually, today, Jennifer and myself were doing a lot of debating on a particular testimonial from an individual, and it was really kind of interesting to play detective, to sort through what might not really be true, but still leaves the question. Sometimes things in this world are stranger than fiction, so anything is possible. With the black-eyed kid, yes, please.
Oh, well, I don't know, it's kind of a far-stretched thought, but so when I was doing the research on the black-eyed kids, one thing that came up, and I'm not sure if I'm going to say this correctly, but that one theory is that they're tulpas, where isn't that where you think of something and you create it because you thought of it?
Yes.
Okay. So what if, I know not everybody's going to think of a black-eyed kid and they're going to show up to your door. So that's where this thought kind of gets a little maybe confusing. But so let's say the black-eyed kids come to whoever's door, whether these people are aware of black-eyed kids or not, they show up. And what if the experience happens, or I wonder what the probability of the experience could be, that what you fear happens. So if I was to see one, let's say, and I was scared that they would scream, and it would sound like, that 1,000 people screaming and stuff, like whatever I'm fearing, split second, then that's how it follows through. Like, I wonder how much, if they are created by the human mind, how much the human mind then creates the experience that you have with them. Does that make sense?
Oh, it makes a lot of sense, and I have read that a number of times, that is a possibility. Some people really believe that, yes, they are tulpas. And, the Montauk Chronicles, that whole thing, that's really what those experiments were all about, was to actually focus on what is the human ability to actually manifest.
Right.
But
I forgot about that.
We're talking manifesting something in a living form. We're not talking about manifesting piles of money. But with that said, there are some people in this world that are so focused on certain successes in their life that they achieve it. And yes, it's motivation for them to get there, but sometimes it's a little bit easier for them because they so believe in it that it becomes their reality. And it's very possible that there's some of those that are so into this whole community in which we are in, that are so focused on it that it does manifest itself and, have that experience. Not that I'm going to sit here and keep promoting the Ben Miller Ice Wolf over on YouTube, but I did listen to his testimonial about Black-Eyed Kids, and he did an episode on Black-Eyed Kids. And at the end of it, he said, I had an experience myself. He was in his car, he was at a red light, and he said 2 kids just appeared out of nowhere in this parking lot to the left of him and started walking towards his vehicle. And he said he had such a bad sense of dread. He felt just really bad, and he never got to see their faces. And he knew nothing of Black-Eyed Kids when this experience happened to him. And he said, thankfully, the light turned green, and I was able to drive away, but he never saw them in the rear view, had no idea where they went to. And that is such a common thread, too, is that they just show up and they disappear just as quickly if they are not invited in.
You know, so, I don't know, that makes me have another thought then. So if you're so into something and you essentially create it, I don't know, it's like with all the stuff that has happened in my personal life, it's like, okay, well, have I created it? Or is it drawn to me?
Well, maybe not, well, either that or you just have mental wiring that receives it much easier than other people can receive it. It's not so much opening the door, it's just that you're wired in a way to perceive it a little bit easier than others. And it could have been that he's wired that way too. And he had a ability to perceive them a little bit easier than, you know, the person next to him. I feel that I am that way a lot of times, that I do have these perceptions of being able to pick up on things a little bit easier than other people do. And I've had other people say, man, I can't figure this out. I try, and I want to, and I want to see this, and I want to see a UFO, and I want to see a Bigfoot, and I want to see a ghost, and nothing ever happens for... And I'm like, it's not a choice. You can work on it. You can try to focus your energy on it, but be careful what you wish for. But I do believe that some people just have a different perception on what it is that they're able to receive. And they can make sense of it however they want to make sense of it. You know, was that an actual ghost? Or was it just a pile of dust that got blown by the fan and blew around the room and it just looked like a ghost? You know, is there a reasonable explanation for it? Well, there's a good possibility of it, but you know what? When I look outside on a clear, starry night and I look at the size of our cosmos, I'm like, look, there's plenty of room for a lot of things to be going on here that we just don't know about. And we still don't know about our planet enough yet. You know, so... You know, looking at some of these, you know, pictures, well, are they hoaxes? Ooh, another sea creature washed up on shore. You know, what was it? Well, it turned out to be a deformed, I believe, gray whales. 2 gray whale calves were conjoined. But it looked like some creepy sea monster, and people were taking pictures of it and saying, ooh, it's an unknown creature. Well, okay, science proved it wrong, but people saw a sea monster and they believed it. That's a sea monster.
Right.
So, you know, sometimes there isn't a reasonable explanation, but other times I just like the Mothman thing and the Black-Eyed Kids thing. You know, for a little while there I was thinking, you know, it's quite possible that this could all just fall under the umbrella of urban legend. You know, there's there's these companies that sell contacts. You can change your eye colors. If you have, you know, brown eyes and you want blue eyes, you can put these contacts in. Well, they also sell all black contacts, and they give you instructions on how to put these contacts in. Now, are there going to be hoaxers out there that wear these, you know, especially maybe over the Halloween? Probably. Personally, I think more demonic is the white eyes instead of the black eyes, but... or again.
You know what I found out?
What's that?
You want to know something really crazy? and
Yes,
gross?
that's why we're here. We want to know crazy stuff.
Right? So,
Hi, Robert.
there was a guy, a tattoo artist, that actually tattooed people's eyes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not kidding.
No,
I read
I've seen
and I
that.
was like, are you serious?
Yes.
That's disgusting.
And not only is it disgusting, but it's so dangerous. And when I mean dangerous, you're
Well, okay,
talking,
scary.
one of the most important senses that you have the ability to have is sight. And to mess around with
Right.
that just to get a tattoo on the whites of your eyes. But yeah, I've seen it, and it's
Right.
horrifying. Yeah, I was personally horrified. I'm like, you know what extent are you going to cut off getting a tattoo? I get it.
Right?
I
my
understand the
gosh.
tattoo thing. I totally get it. But when you're going on the eyeball and even a few other places, nope.
Well, I guess it just gets to me because it's like, have you have you ever seen the like eye surgeries on YouTube?
Yes, and
They're
yeah.
so bad. It's just I don't know how anybody could go through it because you're staring at this big needle going
Yes.
in your eye.
Yes, this is true. Yeah, I mean, you want to creep somebody out at Halloween time, just put your computer or something out by your front door and you'd be playing a surgery like that when the little ones come over trick-or-treating. They'll be like, this is the scariest house I've ever been to. Forget all the
Right? Oh my
Halloween
gosh.
decorations. Just show them
Ew.
either eye surgery or removing a giant zit or something. It's just
Oh my gosh.
disgusting. Yeah, it's...
And I'm sorry if I'm not getting to anybody's questions. I have to keep refreshing the page, and it's not like, feeding live with the comments for me, so.
Well, yeah, it seemed like Bobby was having an issue there too. Again, we double paid our Facebook Live bill this month and send them a box of candy. You figured they could get it right this time, but it's okay. It's something new for everybody, and it's something new for us too. But anyway, thanks, Robert, for stopping by. In case you missed the announcement, the Acrylic Ranch is launched a...
It's totally lost every day.
Now we're completely lost. We don't know what we're doing. We launched a website that'll be interactive, and as a time period goes by, you just kind of have to stick it out with Jennifer and myself. We'll be throwing a lot more things in there to make it so much more involved, interactive,
Yeah.
and of course there'll be trinkets here and there for your participation and build the popularity of it. And it's the popularity of Acrylic Ranch, and Jennifer and I will attest to this. The Acrylic Ranch is not about me, and it's not about Jennifer, and it's not about our popularity. It's about sharing everything we know and all our friends in this community, what they may know that haven't been shared with the rest of the community yet. For example, Ryan Sprague has launched his new podcast and is into his 6th episode of Somewhere in the Skies. This podcast picks up where his book left off at. There were things in the podcast that I was so compelled by listening to it, and the Acrylic Ranch will be your hub where you can go to say, I'm kind of in the mood for ghosts. Man, what podcast really kind of deals with ghosts? You can come over to the Acrylic Ranch. You can scroll through the menu and find more specifics about who covers those particular items that you might be interested in. If you're anything like me, I can go, 2, 3, a month, whatever weeks on a Sasquatch kick, and the next thing you know, I get my gear slammed, and now I'm into the Dogman thing. Oh, wait, there's Mothman's coming around. I'm into that right now. So if your tastes change, you can come to the Acrylic Ranch and find links and more and more and more information about these different topics that you might be into just at that very moment. Or if a strange event is happening near you or to you, you can share those events and we can research for you and find out more information as to what maybe it is. Or if you just want to get it off your chest and not have it be shared, Jennifer and myself are very trustworthy that way. We just keep that vault closed and would be more than willing to help you out with whatever situation that may arise for you. And it's just a place for you to share personally. And if you want to share it with the rest of the community, and the rest of the community knows how to specifically help you or how to get your word out, what your experience was, we'd be happy to do that too. And, you know, for all of you that are here right now, thank you so very much, because you are part of this community and you are the best people under the sun and moon. I cannot say that enough about you guys. You know, we can all have fun together, but I've seen time and time again when it comes down to somebody having an experience, man, the support that surrounds that person is just so tremendous. And I will say that for Jennifer too. She is such a great crutch for those that have had an experience, and she supports. And, you know, I know she's been doing that today, and her plate is full. So a big shout out to Jennifer too.
Thank you so much. I mean, you know, it's been incredible. I have been surrounded or immersed in this community since Into the Fray started. And I hadn't been around so many people or connected with so many people yet that have had similar experiences to me. Because honestly, the only reason why I didn't really think I was crazy is because 99% of all my experiences that I've had since I was like 5 years old, I've had somebody with me. And that is the only reason, it's the only thing that has made me go, you know what, I know I'm not crazy. I know this happened. And then I could talk with them later about it, and they're like, yeah, that was scary.
It is.
And then,
I know, right?
Commuters are...
Yeah, and then I get on, you know, I had that one episode that I did with Shannon, and...
Printer.
Excuse me if I clear my throat or cough.
No, go right ahead.
You're jamming.
So after having that, you know, being on there with her, I ended up getting messages, and they're like, I've experienced this and I've experienced that, but they were like on another continent or another state, and it's just like, it's so comforting to be able to connect, you know. And that was also the big drive, I mean, for me, for my part in doing the Acrylic Ranch with you, and also building that podcast lineup page on the website. All of everybody, all these different podcasts have played a huge part in this, and there was nowhere else that I really knew of that had everybody's, you know, listed, like, you know, like what you were saying, well, what podcast does this, or, you know, what community talks about that. And so to actually have that, to actually be able to see that is really, really cool for me. And I'm hoping that other people who are like me, who are first coming into this and they're nervous or whatever, that they can come and they can see that, and then they can kind of start building that sense of community that you and I have been just so grateful for.
No, very well said. That is very well said. Yeah, that's all our motivation is. That's really our motivation, is having all of you. Thank you, Robert, for the kind words.
Thank you.
That's what the motivation is. Because like myself, I've had my experiences, Jennifer's had her experiences, and we kind of felt like we were flailing out in the world going, I must be really different. Coming into this community, nope, we're not different, we're special.
Well, you know what was crazy? I made a status the other day, and it was something along the lines of like, the world that I live in now is full of like dogmen and portals and all that. And it's just like, you know, I received a couple messages, and I'm not used to people going, what are you talking about? Or do you even believe in that stuff? I am so, like, that's been the cool thing, is I've been so around so many other people that are like, oh yeah, da-da-da-da, that I haven't had to deal with or really hear
with the
anybody
scrutiny
go,
of it.
"You're
Yeah,
crazy."
yeah. No, this is true. This is very true.
So that was fun.
When I arrived back at my place of employment today, Bill was standing in the doorway out, because it was raining out, so he was just kind of standing in the doorway, and I got out of my truck, and I was just like all excited, and I looked at him, and I'm like, I know where Shannon is, and she's not far from here. And he's like, well, that's really. He was kind of taken back. He didn't know the location either. I'm like, no, but she's right down the street, and he just kind of raised an eyebrow like, really? And it's that, right. It's that type of feedback of, no, she's not crazy. She's part of this community, just like he is, just like I am. And we're all keeping in tabs with each other as to what we're all experiencing and what we're all up to. So anyway, I just thought I'd throw that in there. Yes, the Acrylic Ranch, Jennifer or myself, if not both of us, will be putting links up over to the website, though, so that you can go over there. Yes, spill the beans.
Links
okay, Robert. No, Robert, I cannot spill the beans. I am...
No, seriously, become an insider.
Yes.
Let yourself, if you really want to know, if you're that excited to know where she is, you will be that much more excited that you became an insider because of everything that happens over there.
Mm-hmm.
There is an interactive Facebook group with all kinds of really cool information that stays within the group. And then on top of that, there's also stuff that is only posted in the insiders section on the End of the Fray website itself.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously, I don't know. For me, I sit there and go, if you like End of the Fray and you are in that main End of the Fray group, why aren't you an insider? Seriously, you should really do it. Don't hesitate. Go over and sign up maybe after we're done here and just be like, yeah, I did it.
Well, Robert, all I can tell you is if you want to know where Shannon is, you can do one of two things. Either figure out where I'm at and that she's... I can't say that she's right down the street, but she's not in Nevada. Yeah, she's not even in the state of Nevada. She's in the United States, though, so don't take it out of country. She is in the United States. Become an insider. And this isn't, we're not salesmen. We are not salesmen. This is merely out of respect. Yeah, this is totally out of respect for Shannon LeGros. She asked that of us, and so we will stick to what she asks. And if you were to, Robert, if you were to share something with myself or Jennifer that was personal and you didn't want shared, well, here's a good testimonial for our trustworthiness, okay? We wouldn't share. So, we respect Shannon enough that we won't share, but it's certainly not what I expected, and she has a really good chance of gathering some serious proof or evidence or something. I don't know. She's got a good chance of it.
One thing that I can say about Shannon is she's really well researched.
Mm-hmm.
Because I just being involved in this stuff since I was little because of everything that's happened to me, I've tried to read so many different encounters or learn stuff, and she has brought stuff to my attention that I never knew existed,
mm-hmm.
places I didn't know existed, topics that are new. It's fascinating to me.
Yeah, she's the Laura Croft of the community.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah. Anybody, okay, before anything else, since we were doing our Black Eyed Kids episode, I would really be interested if you guys just want to put a comment in below at any point. what you think the Black-Eyed Kids are. If you think it's real, if you think it's just, a folklore thing, if you think it's just urban legend, if you think it's demonic, if you think it's alien hybrid, there's all these theories out there. Probably, nothing that hasn't been heard of yet, but I would be really interested in knowing what your point of view is on the Black-Eyed Kids. I want to know. I don't know that I want to know them. I just want to know what we're up against and what your opinions
and
are.
I have a question too.
Sure.
I was just thinking about it because for me, it's kind of funny that I'm going to admit this, but I guess I will. So one of my biggest fears, honestly, and it's been this way for a really long time, is late at night, sometimes I'll look through the people. I just do. When I'm locking the door, maybe I'll look through the hole.
Why do you torture yourself like that?
I know!
Marlise, I have to agree with you. I think they are creepy, too. Yeah, why do you torture yourself? Hi, Bobby. He's back.
I mean, there's just sometimes where I just feel something. And so I'm like, okay. So my biggest fear is seeing either, like, some entity that has no face, or seeing Black-Eyed Kids literally just standing there. Like, I'm not talking anybody knocked on my door. I'm just saying that there's something standing there. So my question is, I want to know what you guys are scared of. I admitted mine. I'm interested to see what everybody else is.
If I looked through my peephole and I saw my mother-in-law on the other side, that would be terrifying.
I'm going to leave that alone.
You know what? I have one location that I go to probably 3-4 times a week, and I was there today. And it's the way that this industrial building is laid out, and on the outside of the building is just kind of this, I don't know how to describe it. It's kind of desolate, and but son of a gun, if not, every time I have gone there, and this has been going on for like 4 years, I keep picturing seeing an alien head peek around the corner of this building and look at me. And, the corner of the building is probably about 30, 40 yards away from where my vehicle would be at. I don't know why. I have no idea what even manifested that thought to begin with. But every time I look at that corner of the building and I get totally creeped out. I don't know if something bad happened there.
Why do you torture yourself like that?
I don't know. Yeah, clowns are creepy. You know what? I'm kind of glad that this creepy clown episode has kind of died down with these psycho clowns that were going crazy there last year. I haven't heard any.
Robert said, are they reported in a certain area, or are they, I can't even read.
Or are they all over?
Are they all over? I thought that they were all over. Am I wrong?
I have read and listened to testimonials worldwide, that the Black-Eyed Kid phenomena is a worldwide phenomena. Yeah, and it's not really
Fun.
I mean, I haven't looked to see, well, are they below this latitude, longitude, whatever. That I haven't looked into. But I do know that it is a global phenomenon.
Oh, we should mention that that video that was posted to the Coast to Coast AM website, where the anonymous person was trying to investigate, and they ended up having some kind of frequency that they think the Black-Eyed Kids communicate off of. And the computer was set up by an open window, and by the 5th night, they ended up with somebody just standing there for an hour.
Right.
But the thing is, I didn't see, you can't see the eyes. It's a creepy video. It would creep me out, whether it's a regular human or not. I would hate that, but I wish that you could have seen the eyes.
Yeah, this is true. There's another video, and this isn't really as much Black-Eyed Kid related, but it's something to at least think about. I'm not sure if it was on Coast to Coast, and maybe some of you have seen this video. because it was just posted within the last couple of days. A gentleman had his security camera in the house, and his wife was in the baby's nursery laying on the floor. Have you seen this? Now,
No,
the way that this was edited, you with kind of night vision or low light sensitive security cameras, they pick up reflection of the eyes, okay? And you see her laying on the floor, and you see her kind of jerking away, and it's the way that the video was presented, and it was setting up this creep factor. And I'm like, wow, that's kind of weird. It looks like she's being dragged out of the bedroom. Because she was laying on the floor, and you see her eyes open, and you see her kind of getting dragged out of and I'm like, wow, man, was this a pair? So what I did is I went to YouTube, and I found a completely unedited, unadulterated video of the same thing. It was the same video, only nothing done to it. And it looks like mom was laying on the floor. The video camera was going, but it looks like she's just trying to sneak out of the room without the kid waking up. She laid down on the floor. The baby's fine. Is the baby quite asleep? I want to get out of the room, and she just kind of slithers out of the room. I'm like, wow, talk about two different perspectives in one video.
I've done that so many times.
I have too. I've done it too. You just, okay, everything's kind of cool. I can maybe sneak out of here and fool the kid, and then you're out for 5 minutes and they're bawling their eyes. But whatever. But my point is, it's how the video is presented. One was presented that, ooh, this is paranormal. Something weird is going on here, and you watch it, and you have that psychosis going on in your head that you're watching something paranormal. And then you watch the same video in a completely unedited,
different angle.
It's the same video. It's just there was no music, no nothing. It was just a video, and it just looks like mom is scooching herself out of the bedroom to get out of the nursery while the baby's asleep. I'm like,
that would be something that would be really cool for the website. I mean, I thought about it, but I'm not sure, but to be able to find the best creepy, unexplained videos to where you can't find a different version, where you can't understand it.
Yeah.
I'm not really good at coming up with a lot of that stuff. But
I can.
Maybe if I do.
No, I can do that.
Post it in the group.
No, I can do that, and I will be posting stuff like that. Things that, and that you'll always have those out there that'll say, no, it's a hoax. Well, prove it. Well, I can't. Well, okay, then you don't know that it's a hoax. There are a lot of things out there. Like Shannon was saying back when I think we did the show with Shannon on Into the Fray about Bachelor's Grove and the woman sitting on the gravestone.
Oh.
That photograph is just so mind-blowing, but yet it is still can't be debunked. I mean, it has gone through photographic analogies. It's gone through all sorts of things. They cannot debunk it to say, no, it's a forgery. And when that photograph was taken was long before Photoshop was even available. So,
See, it's interesting. It reminds me of, I had a picture, and I think I've told you this before, where I was in my sister's basement, and she had told me that she had seen, different things in her basement before, and that stuff would just move on its own. And when I was over there, I remember she was upstairs. She was like in the kitchen or something, and I was just getting something out of her room. And I turn around, and these soda cans just fly off the shelf. And I just had this, creepy feeling. And so I was like, okay, well...
You witnessed that?
Yes.
Oh.
I did.
Well.
And it really scared me. But then later on I was like, okay, well, and I decided to take a picture at the bottom of the stairs. And in the photo, clear as day, you can see a man, and he has this skeleton face. And I showed it to my dad, and I showed it to my dad's girlfriend. I'm just like, what the heck is this? I was completely terrified. I got rid of the picture. And it's not the first picture that I have taken that ended up being like that. And the reason I get rid of them is because it scares me. I feel like it's going to draw stuff to me, or it's going to stick around me, or you know what I mean?
Well, I know exactly what you mean. There's even certain videos that I don't like to watch. And it's like,
right.
Yeah, I don't want this attached in my brain. Thank you, no.
Yes, I agree, Robert.
Demonic.
Yeah.
Or as Van says, demonic. Well,
yeah, no.
Yeah, I appreciate if all of you would, and even you latecomers, if you watch us at any point, you can always still keep putting your comments in on the video below. But Jennifer and I are interested in knowing what your thoughts are on what the Black Eyed Kids, what it might be. Is this a hoax? Is this part of urban legend? Is this folklore? Or is this something alien hybrid? Or
I
is
think that it was really created
demonic?
By a bunch of us.
A tulpas?
Just a bunch of people. That,
yeah.
Yeah. And then there's that thought of, everything comes from somewhere. Like, entertain that thought for a second. Everything comes from somewhere. So if you think about Dracula or, the werewolf movies or the whatevers, it just, I don't know.
Well, there's a grain of truth in everything.
Right.
Even as far-fetched, yeah, Bobby, we think, demonic also. Even with Frankenstein. Now, when she wrote that, she was inspired by a nightmare that she had okay, so the nightmare was fed by something. Well, medical sciences back then were doing a lot of human experimentations for curing cancer and, sickle cell and all these, which we do have a lot of cures for now. But back then, science and surgery was such a butchery compared to what it is today. And, so there was a lot of truth to that. But now take a look at what medical sciences are doing today. They're pretty much building Frankenstein animals. You're able to build an embryo or an embryo and grow a goat on a laboratory table in an artificial womb. There is a grain of truth into all of this, with the wolf man. Well, you be bit by a wolf, you become this wolf man on the full moon. I'm sure a lot of that is folklore, but is that what actually was rabies? Maybe somebody got bit by a wolf, got rabies, and went crazy because they had this disease and they thought they were a wolf. Or is there an actual dog man that... Although I don't think Dogman actually turns back into human like a Skinwalker thing. That might be a stretch.
He probably appears human enough that that's what they thought.
Right. True.
And then did you hear about the head transplant that's going to happen?
No, isn't that wonderful? No. I heard rumors to it. I did hear rumors to it. I think there was a lot of protests over it, but that's not in this country, though. That was, in Chile or some third world
just somewhere else
country. Yes, I did hear about this, and I'm sure it could be done.
That'd be such a trip, though.
Yeah, I think so. Just a little bit.
I wouldn't want a new body. That's weird.
Well, okay, we'll just leave it at that. I could have taken that down a whole different avenue real quick. And be like, oh, now I got to get fitted for a bra? What? What is this? I'm not used to this. Why am I cramping?
Yeah. No, so I don't know. I think that the Black Eyed Kids are something that we maybe somehow brought here, or maybe here's another thought. What if they existed and somehow, how you were saying, I don't know how it manifested, but I've, been afraid of this alien head popping out from over here.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if enough people thought about these black-eyed kids that it opened a door for them to come through, that maybe they were already, around, kind of thing.
Right. Very possible. Very possible. Oh, see, we're hearing from one now.
Come here, Anna.
I'm not sure that they can do it, but don't think they could get the nerves to make the body work. Oh, yeah, Bobby. At least not right now, but I'm sure at some point with laser fusion, they probably would be able to get. Look, they've built prosthetics. They've built prosthetics that have replaced certain limbs, and the mind is controlling those limbs. So medical technology is a lot further along than what we probably are aware of. When you can think, move my fingers on a prosthetic limb, and your fingers are moving. Wow, that was incredible, and I believe they did that first on an Iraqi vet who had at least had his arm taken out by an IED, and so he volunteered to have this prosthetic done, and it took some brain wiring, but it's working for him. And he's absolutely amazed. Wow. He is absolutely amazed. He's like, the only sensation he doesn't have is the sensation of touch. But he can pick things up. He could open a bottle. He's got a full functioning arm when that was removed in his horrible attack. And just being one. So I think medical sciences is probably a lot further along than what we think. And, as long as we don't go the Frankenstein route. Yeah, as long as we don't go the Frankenstein route and are reanimating dead bodies, that's just got to be a no. They use Bigfoot portals.
People, thank you.
Yeah. Well,
I don't ever want to do a show on zombies either. I'm good.
I think Bobby's telling us that the black-eyed kids are using the Bigfoot portals to get here.
Yeah, they put a saddle on them and they ride them through over,
riding on the shoulders of a Bigfoot. Yeah. Why not? Dads do it at sporting events with their kids on the shoulders. Why wouldn't Sasquatch put a black-eyed kid on their shoulders? Come on, kids, let's go. Let's see what we can scare the humans. That's our job today. Sit in a red circle and scare the humans. All right, Jen, are we done here with the black? Keep leaving your comments.
It's been a while, so I think that
yeah,
we'll wrap it up. And then all new episodes like this one here.
Absolutely.
I will make sure to put on the website.
Yes, thank you. And thanks for all of you. I got to read Robert's here real quick. The story talks about making life out of lifelessness. Yes, reanimation. Just like when Prometheus did in Greek mythology. Or did you discuss that? No, we just touched on the fact of, let's not bring a dead body back to life again with different body parts.
Not a fan of zombies.
Yeah, no. Especially when zombies are made up of everybody. No, that's just not cool. That's not cool. All right, well, thank you, everybody. I greatly appreciate you stopping by, and continue to leave your comments down below. Look forward to the Interactive Acrylic Ranch website, and feel free to go in there.
I'll post it again here in the comments.
Oh, thank you, Jennifer. That's
of course.
That's why I do this with Jennifer, because she invited me along to do this acrylic ranch thing, because I'm useless. Thank you, Bobby. Greatly appreciate it. You have a good night too.
Night, Bobby.
All right, we'll talk.
Thank you, Robert.
All right. Thank you, everybody. And again, we really appreciate your support. Bye. We will talk to you next Tuesday, same time. We'll be posting what our topics will be. Until then, we'll talk real soon.